What's going on, guys? Sharif here, natural bodybuilder. I've been training naturally for over 13 years, and today's video I'm talking about why steroids doesn't make sense for me, are not worth it for me. And if you're someone that is contemplating the idea of taking PEDs, well, this video will help you out. And maybe we think differently, I'm not kind of knocking everybody that takes PEDs, but I'll just share with you why for me it's not worth taking. Alright, if you're new to this channel, well, welcome. We're almost at 4,000 subscribers, so subscribe. If you're not new, thank you guys all for the support. Thank you for the comment, for the likes. I love you guys so much, and it means the whole world to me when I see someone commenting. So let's jump straight into it. First of all, I've been training naturally for 13 years, but you know what? When I started working out, I thought that I would take PEDs later in life. When I started 14, 15, I was always like, I want to be Mr. Olympia. That was really my dream. And then I'm like, you know what? At 25, I'll take PEDs. At 26, at 27, I want to just reach my natural physique, natural limits first. I didn't have all the Instagram and social media, thank God, because now someone starting scrolls on Instagram and then they'll see someone that in 1 year they became looking like, I don't know, Nick Walker or Chris Bumstead, and they're competing. So it puts a lot of pressure. When I started training, I didn't even have a phone. So I'm like, hey, I'm progressing well. I look in the mirror, I compare myself to the 4 or 5 guys that I see in the gym, and I'm like, well, I'll just keep going that route up until I can't make gains anymore. And guess what? I kept progressing. I believe natural limit is very hard to reach. The progress will slow down, but it doesn't mean that it will stop. Anyways, so I just kept pushing it up until I reached the goal where I'm almost 30, so I matured a lot. And a lot of people that take PEDs, they take them young and they're dependent on it. So that's actually the reason number one, is that you become dependent on it. So thank God I matured enough to be like, hold on, I don't need it. And I don't even want to take it, because the reason, number one, I give you guys 6 reasons. Number one is that you're dependent on it. You're dependent on PEDs. Once you take it once, it's never only one cycle. It's never only one 12 weeks to get in your best shape and then maintain. No way. You think that you're in for a surprise, because a lot of people take it once and then they get dependent on it. They get used to it because you feel like Superman. You feel like Superman for 12 weeks, and now you go back to being the normal guy that barely, I don't know, benches 150 pounds, whereas a few weeks ago when you were on cycle, you were benching 3 plates. All right, so it's gonna mess up your mind. You won't love training as much without it, so you become dependent on it. So it's something that you have to keep doing, 3 months on, 3 months on cycle, off cycle. And it's a dependency. It's a drug. It's called a drug for a reason. It's addictive. All right, so I've always been kind of trying to be independent on everything. All right, I remember at a certain point I was smoking shisha with a friend, and I'm becoming too dependent on it, and I just stopped it. Everything that makes me kind of dependent on it, it kind of have a power on me, and it starts kind of playing with my mind. I'm like, no, I don't want any dependency. Of course, we're dependent to food. I'm dependent to training, to going for walks, but those things improve my life. All right, so you're dependent on PEDs, and it's something that you'll have to take forever. It's not just one cycle. It's just not just one time. If you get in that door, it's very harder to leave. There's a proverb in Arabic that says in Syria, it says entering the washroom is a lot harder than getting out of the washroom. All right, so that's it. Entering is a lot harder than getting out of it. So that's number one, dependency. Number two, you lose your natural love of natural bodybuilding without any PEDs. I used to know a guy, he used to compete, a pretty jacked guy. I have a lot of respect for him. I don't want to name him. He was a very known bodybuilder, and when he was off cycle, we used to train at the YMCA. All right, so if someone knows me from there, you might know who it is. But anyways, when he was not taking PEDs, he couldn't even work out. He used to come to the gym and do 2-3 sets and be like, oh, I just want to leave. I hate it. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. There you are competing sometimes, but now you hate working out. It doesn't make sense for me, but it's because he's used to having those crazy pumps. He's used to coming to the gym and feeling like Superman. So now when you take that superpower away from him, working out and pumping iron is not as fun. But for me, for someone that's never experienced what it is to be on that other side, well, I'll still enjoy my little pump and seeing a few veins on my arms and shoulders. That's as good as it gets for me. But for that person, well, that wasn't cutting it anymore. All right, it's like going from becoming a millionaire to all of a sudden working on minimum wage and gotta be content with $10 an hour. it's a hard thing mentally. So a lot of people, they lose the natural love for bodybuilding, and this is something that I would never risk. You know, for me, bodybuilding is my therapy. Seriously, I go to the gym every single day, 2 hours. Even now, my injured shoulder, my shoulder is injured. I went to the gym today. I just worked a little bit around it, just did a little bit of stuff, but it's because it's my therapy, and I can't afford to lose that. What am I gonna do instead? You know, like for me, that's the way I start my day, and it's a therapy, and I don't want to risk anything that makes me lose that love for bodybuilding. And you know, actually, a lot of people, when they lose that love for bodybuilding, they try to fill that void with something else, and they unfortunately go a lot with recreational drugs when they're off their cycle. It's crazy because they still want to get that high. So yeah, it creates a lot of drugs addictions. Anyways, moving on. Number 3, it's risky, of course, the risk on your health, and it might not work. A lot of people take PEDs, don't look like they train. A lot of people, I see them on Instagram, the guys, obviously they're taking PEDs, they have the gyno and a lot of symptoms, but they're not looking anything like crazy. And it's like, is the PEDs not as efficient? But there you are, you're risking your health, you risk the fact that all the things that I said before, but also at the same time, it might not work on you. So why taking that risk? And you're putting your health in risk, which is the most important thing, right? There's a saying, a quote that says, a healthy man wants a million things, but an unhealthy man only wants one thing. All right, so don't put your health at risk, especially if you're not making a career out of it. Not even money, making a career out of it. Don't do it just for a few likes on Instagram. It's not gonna be worth it. So there's a risk factor. Number 4, the side effects. You know, the gyno. I see people that have gyno, and it kind of freaked me out. You know, it's like, whoa, you gotta do a surgery for this now. It's not something that you can just, I don't know, rub some cream on it. You gotta do a surgery, and then you can't even go to the gym, and all your life is kind of on hold because you did that. It's crazy, yeah? The gyno, for me, that's a side effect that is scary, that I will never experience, but I don't know how people can risk that. That's number 1. Number 2, it's all the acne, the side effects that come with the mood, you know, the behaviors, and now I don't know if it's real or not. Some people say roid rage, but hey, it's still side effects, and I'm sure that when you put this in your body, it's gonna create a lot of other side effects. There is good effects, but there's gonna be a lot more side effects, which I just don't want to deal with. You know, I don't even know how I'm gonna react to him. I don't even know. You know, it's like I don't even know how I'm gonna react when I'm drunk. I don't drink, but you know, why putting my self in this risk? Moving on, number 5 is my dream body is achievable naturally. All right, we can achieve a lot more naturally than we think. A lot of people limit their self. We have limiting belief about natural bodybuilding. We think that maybe I'm peak natty just because I built a few muscles and I'm a little bit lean. We see someone with some abs, wide shoulders, a good chest. Oh, this guy is peak natty. There's no way he can get bigger naturally. That's not true. You can reach a very, very high level of fitness, of bodybuilding. You can build a very amazing shape naturally. All right, like the shape that I built, guys, mind you that 13 years, yeah, but a lot of those years, it's a lot of work. I work in in the kitchen at the beginning, so 2 full-time jobs, a lot of injuries. Nothing is optimized. Seriously, it's not as if I'm a bodybuilder that just eats, play video games, recover, and train twice a day. I wish I would have been so much better than what I am now. All right, that physique, I reached it with a lot of trials and tribulations, and a lot of them were not optimized. A lot of those years were not optimized. Working in the kitchen, have you ever worked in the kitchen on the grill, grilling steak for 8 hours? You're sweating all day and you can't even eat because you're in a rush. You barely drink some water, and then you're kind of snacking on whatever you have, some fries or whatever. Not at all optimized. So imagine someone that's really put their mind into it, and they're eating when they should, sleeping well, training well, everything just is centered about their bodybuilding journey. Well, trust me, the results will be insane. I don't think anybody reached peak natty, and that's why it's exciting. Yeah, that's, you know what, let's add it. It's exciting to stay natural because we've seen it all in terms of enhanced bodybuilding. We've seen it all. We've seen the Nick Walker, the Ronnie Coleman, Dorian Yates. What is there that is wow? What is gonna give us a wow factor in terms of enhanced bodybuilding? We've seen Big Ramy. We've seen 300-400 pounds dudes all right, 22, 23, 24, 25-inch arms. So it's like, well, yeah, they're enhanced, but then what else can we see? I think the only exciting thing now is natural bodybuilding and seeing how much we can push it and really setting the standards for it, because a lot of people, when they're passionate, they end up going on PEDs, and that's the unfortunate reality. But seeing someone that is passionate, that stayed natural and kept going naturally, it's hard to find. So it's exciting. Let's break the standards of natural bodybuilding. And last little reason why it doesn't make sense to me is that also on top of all that, it's costly. It costs a lot of money. I know some people, I don't know, but I watch videos. I'm like everybody, I consume a lot of YouTube, and well, I see Greg Doucette and those kind of videos, and some people would say they spend thousands of dollars a month. All right, for what? Thousands of dollars a month. So this is actually one of the reasons why I never did PEDs, because it was also the money. All right, so I didn't grow up rich. Maybe some people that grow up super rich and they don't care about that, but for me, $1,000 a month, I'd rather spend it somewhere else, you know. So it's also something to take into account, and also you're dependent on it, so you gotta budget it for every single month, $1,000 off your income every single month, to risk putting that in your body that is not necessarily making you better. You think about it twice, you know. It's not as if it was free or just buying protein powder. It's a lot more costly than that. So there you have it, 6 reasons. I really believe everyone should stay natural for as long as possible, and then you'll realize that you never wanted to take PEDs in the first place. That's really something that I will tell the young kids. Stay natural for as long as possible, and then you will mature. You will realize how much your body can gain naturally, and you will enjoy it. And you'll be like, you know what, I'm having so much fun doing it naturally. Just don't compare yourself. It's hard. We go on social media, we compare ourselves. Oh, this guy, he said he's just been training for 6 months, and look at his chest. Look at this guy. It's so easy. It's crazy, social media. We scroll and we see all the bodies, and next thing you know, we think that we're nobody. But I'm telling you, you're doing good, you're doing great. Just keep going naturally, and it will all pay off. All right? Think about it as, well, we all know the story of the rabbit versus the turtle, right? So I don't know if it's a rabbit, but anyways, the turtle ended up winning. I mean, he's slow, but he keeps going. He's slow, but he keeps going. And then the compound effect, 2-3 years down the line, maybe the rabbit that wanted to go super fast and get everything fast ended up slowing down. But there you are. Keep going, step by step. Let's be rabbits. No, let's be turtles, guys. You know what? If you watch till now, write down turtle. Thank you guys for the support. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. If you need natural coaching, coaching for natural athletes, go to my website or write me an email. See you guys soon. Ciao.